Hi, everybody. Welcome back to On the DL. We have Nadia Kotsos joining us today. Hi, Nadia.
Hello, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
And I want to start by telling everybody who you are and how I got to you and why I want to share you with everyone. I was actually just speaking with our producer before you jumped on the call, and he said, "Why?" And I explained my journey. And then I said, I love to share when things work for me. I want everybody to know about stuff. So Nadia is a holistic nutritionist and the owner of Drink Juice Co. in Toronto. That being said, I'm sure there's lots of ways people can get juice, make juice, and we're going to talk about it. So
For-
tell me, why juice?
well, like the short of the long story is I was really sick when I was younger. So I went from going to the doctors at least 3 times a week, going to hospitals, trying to find out what was wrong with me, and not getting answers until I met a naturopath that was really into holistic nutrition. And he put me on a diet for 3 months. And I remember originally I went to him because I had pimples the size of toonies all over my face. And I was more there for my ego. Like I wanted to change how I looked more than how I felt. I kind of ignored how I felt. I was 19, 20, and he put me on a diet. And I remember within that first month, I thought, why was I so okay feeling the way I felt? And why wasn't I trying to fix that? I felt like it was the norm. I just thought my stomach hurt and that was normal for me. So that's when I really found out the power of food. And once I found that out, I was so excited. I had so much life in me and I just wanted to share. But my first business that I started was a digestive health clinic. And I just got rid of it in 2021. I focused on
Oh,
digestive health there. Yeah. So I had my clinic
mm.
for about 10 years and then I opened up the juice bar. I've had a drink juice for about 7 years now. So
And
everything I do at drink, I focus on digestion because that's what really healed me. And yeah, skin and digestive health are my top two priorities and things that I focus on.
and I know that, and I've heard you say this before, is that you heal your gut, you heal your body, right?
Yeah,
You need
for
to make
sure.
sure your gut is working properly, and people don't necessarily understand that gut health is really the gateway to everything else that's going on. So you were talking about your skin, and
Yeah.
probably at 19, you had no clue that you probably thought it was what you were putting on your face, not what you were putting in your
Yeah,
body.
100%. I went to school for medical aesthetics as well. So at medical aesthetics, it's all about lasers and chemical peels and all these treatments that are great, but only
Yeah.
good if your body is working properly. And the the good thing about skin, and when it's erupted, it means that there's something wrong with your body, and you can kind of then tailor your diet and everything towards that. It's like a no. So I went through that and I realized that there was a lot more to my skin than just medical aesthetics could solve,
Mhm.
and it really did. It was all about the diet. I tell a lot of people if
So
our bodies were see-through, the way that we would treat our body would be so much different. If you could see that I had gunk impacted in my digestive system, I would be so embarrassed about that. I would make sure I'd clear my gut faster than I did.
wow. If our bodies were see-through, could you
Yeah.
imagine what we would see?
Oh my gosh, everything. We'd be so healthy.
I'd be horrified, first of all,
Yeah.
and I think I lead a pretty healthy life, but I think I'd be a
Yeah.
little bit horrified of all the years of damage prior
Yeah.
to where I'm at right
So
now.
true.
I would, but here's the good news. We can correct that, right?
A
We can
hundred
make it
percent.
better. Okay,
Definitely.
so here's something I want to say out loud to you. I believe I read this. You wrote this, which is, when something used to work just fine and time has taken that away, nutrition may bring it right back.
Oh, 100%.
So as
Definitely.
we are aging and we feel, particularly, I can only speak as a woman, that so much is being taken away from me and I have to work that much harder to feel good, look my best, do my best. I have to stop myself and think, what is going to fuel me every day and make me feel the way I need to feel? And you're
Yeah.
saying nutrition will do that.
And how amazing is it that you stop and you think like that now?
I
Like
have to. I
before
don't
it's
have a
like go,
choice.
go, go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all the minerals that we're missing from food and this fast-paced life that kind of stop us from getting everything that we need.
Like,
So
such
like,
as?
oh my gosh, so much. Like when we have all these deep fried foods, we're actually killing all of the nutrients in there. All we're getting is rancid oils and fats.
Mm,
Our stomach is feeling full, but it's not giving our body what it needs. And
okay.
that for me, like every time I eat, I always think about what's this going to give me? Like, what is this going to do for me? I always eat with a purpose. I'll never
Hmm.
just eat to fill my stomach. I'll eat because I know that my digestive system's off. So I want to eat for my digestive system. Or if I want to change my physique, I'll eat for my physique. So there's many ways to eat and many nutrients that we need in our body for sure.
So before I start asking you about juice, like we're going to talk about juice, we're going to talk about sort of the backlash against juice as well,
Yeah.
because there has been a bit of that also. Well, there's been a backlash against about everything during COVID. Everybody found something to talk about. But I have to tell you, I've had digestive issues my entire life.
Yeah.
My entire life, like from my teenage years on. So many different opinions, diagnosis, medications, try this, try that, candida, don't eat yeast, too much yeast, don't have wheat, don't have gluten, don't have dairy, have this, have that, on and on and on. And I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I'm not alone. So many people say the same thing. But I'm going to tell you something, and I want to share this with you, and I want to share this with everybody who's listening to this. A few months ago, I would say several months ago, back at the end of the winter, 2022, at the end of the winter, closer to the spring, I started to make juice, green juice. I started to make it. And I thought this isn't going to go over well. Like I'm just blending up ice and celery and lemon. And then sometimes I'd add, I don't know, some cucumber. Sometimes I'd add some apple, but mint. I tried a couple of times and I thought, okay, this is okay, but I don't understand, like, what's the big deal? But I was told, stay at it, just keep drinking it and see how you feel. Then I found you, I heard about you and drink juice. And I thought, okay, well, now I'm actually going to taste a real green juice, because the other green juices I had tasted in the past tasted horrible. I tasted yours. I'm not just saying this because you're on my show. I did love it. I almost
Thank you.
became a little bit addicted to it because I felt so good when I would drink your various green juices. I thought they were so good. But what got me was that your ingredients were so pure. There was just celery, lemon, water. And if I went to another company, I don't want to shame any other company. If I went to another company and I went to buy a green juice, I would look at the back of the ingredients. And for example, it would say 12 grams of sugar. Like, sugar in a celery juice? That doesn't make sense. So
Yeah.
I called the company and
Good
I
for
said,
you.
why? Why is there 12 grams of sugar in a celery drink? They couldn't answer, but they called me back and they told me it was the seeds from the cucumber. That's why there was so much sugar. I was like, okay, I'm not going to drink that juice from them anymore.
Yeah.
So I wanted to share with you how much your juices have changed how I feel. And when I don't drink them, I feel the difference. I do make a lot at home too. I'm not telling people to run out to
Yeah.
get your juice or someone else's juice. You can make them at home. But I
Yeah.
want to know why it helped me so much. Why do you think they made such a difference for me?
So, like, I'll tell you that a majority of my clientele are people who have autoimmune,
Mm,
cancer. Like
mm.
those are really who come to see me. And then there's people who just want to be healthy. But the reason why juices help people with autoimmune and cancer so much is because when you juice something, it goes into our stomach and then straight into our blood system. It doesn't have that whole digestive process where
Ah,
our stomach has to break everything down. And if we don't have enough HCl in our gut, we're not breaking it down properly. And then we end up with
wh-
gas, bloating, and all these other issues. So this is
what's
like straight
HCl? Sorry for interrupting. What's
um, H-
HCl? So people,
HCl is hydrochloric acid. It's the acid in our stomach that helps break down our food. And when we get older, our HCl levels drop. So
mm-hmm.
it's like celery actually increase our HCl in the body. But
Mm.
drinking juice is basically like just drinking in vitamins. It goes straight into your blood system. And that's why it's so important. And I'm such a big um, person to say juice at home, especially easy things like you won't get sick of juicing. So it's
For
so
example, what?
important, like celery. Celery is such an easy one to drink at home, juice at home, but always organic. You don't want to juice anything that's not organic. Like, and when you
Okay.
buy from people, you always want to buy organic. And the reason being is pesticides are put on produce to keep pests away, and they're meant to withstand rain. So it
Mm.
doesn't wash off easily. When we go home and we buy conventional produce and rinse it and then put it through our juicer, we're getting all that stuff straight into our blood system. So no matter what, I'm happy. I'm so happy that people juice at home, but my number one rule is to always juice organic for sure.
So when you say celery, do you just say like what I was doing? Celery,
Yeah.
ice, lemon, apple, whatever, organic.
So if
But
you were doing ice, I'm guessing it was more of a blender. You were doing a
yes,
blender. Yeah.
a Vitamix. Yeah, a Vitamix.
Yeah, a Vitamix. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's blending the produce, and that's fine too. There is a difference between blending and juicing for sure.
Ah,
And yeah,
okay.
when you juice, you're juicing it through. Like I have a slow masticating juicer, so there's no heat, no oxygen that's getting into the juices, so all the vitamins and minerals are intact. When you blend, you're blending up oxygen in there, and heat comes from the blade as well. So you start to lose those vitamins and minerals that are very sensitive to that. And it also has, once you add oxygen, it also has a shorter shelf life. Cold press
Mm.
lasts a little bit longer, not too
Yeah.
long, but it lasts
Yeah.
3 days because there's no heat, no oxygen that's damaged those minerals.
So here's a question for you because someone had asked me this actually the other day when I told them I was going to do a story about juice. They said, well, why is it that when you go to a juice company, all the juice always tastes the exact same, right? So if it's fresh, why is it that you're getting like each whatever the flavor is, it's always the same?
Yeah.
Why does it do that?
I don't know what you mean by that. Like, what do you mean it tastes the
So if I, for example, if I made celery juice at home, it's not going to taste the same every single time.
Oh, every single time. Ah,
Yeah. So
okay, yeah.
I just thought that was
So
an interesting question. I couldn't answer that, but I said I would ask you because I said, I don't
yeah,
know.
for
That's the
sure.
secret
Okay, so
ingredient, maybe.
yeah, the way that that happens, I would say because it's cold pressed. And then the
Mm.
way that we juice everything, I juice everything a little bit differently than other juice companies. I'll juice every ingredient separately and then I mix. But a lot of juice companies,
Oh.
because we have these big machines, they're X1 Good Nature X1 machines. You can actually weigh out all your produce. And if I was making my sweet greens drink, I could
Mm.
weigh out all my produce, put it all in the machine, and then press it. And when you weigh something, you're always going to get that same flavor and same amount. But the reason why I do everything separately is because I want to I'm more focused on minerals. And I know that I need this much spinach and this much bok choy if I want to get my amino acids. And I want to just always make sure that that's what I'm giving people. And when you weigh it and press, you don't know exactly how much juice you're getting from what. But
Okay,
when
so I think
we are
that's really
juicing at
good.
home, yeah, and
Mhm.
when we're juicing at home, when we blend, first of all, we're not really weighing anything out and making sure
Yeah.
everything's like on the button. But when we blend, we're adding that heat and oxygen in it.
Okay, so that answers that's a good great because we've got that settled because I think a lot of people are thinking that when I heard that question, I thought that was an interesting question because I don't
Yeah,
really know how that I just thought it was secret ingredients, but I there's obviously there's obviously science,
yeah,
obviously science. I want to ask you about certain ingredients that people might be putting in their diet or not, or they need to add back. Um, let's talk about some anti-inflammatory veggies, maybe fruits and spices, because that's a
for sure.
huge catch-all right now is this anti-inflammatory world, especially for women my age. We talk about anti-inflammatory diets, anti-inflammatory foods because we're inflamed.
Yeah,
Cortisol levels are up, we're not sleeping enough, our diets are off a little bit, we have crazy sugar cravings,
yeah,
particularly in the evening. It's hard to find someone middle age who doesn't, unless they fix their diet,
yeah.
unless they have themselves. So, what is it? Would you say that we're all kind of lacking and we need in this anti-inflammatory world?
So, yeah, anti-inflammatory is so important. And I think
Hmm.
one thing that we get confused with is when our body is inflamed, sometimes we mistake that as being bloated. But
Yes.
when our organs are inflamed, they need more room in the body. So our muscles won't hold them in. Our muscles know they need more room. So that's when we'll get that distension. Not all
Mm.
the time. I mean, a lot of it can be digestive issues, but most of the time it's a inflammation. And the way that we get rid of that is digestion for sure is going to fix that, making sure that we're food combining properly. I'm a really big advocate towards food combining and eating foods that are going to digest properly in our system. And then little simple things that we can do are adding in turmeric is always a great, easy one, anti inflammatory. Broth, I'm huge. Broth is very anti inflammatory. And it's just also the way that our body digests. It gives our body that break to allow it to not be inflamed.
Do you suggest a certain time of day for certain foods?
Honestly, I hate putting a time on when to eat certain
Hmm.
things. Like I used to have or used to. I love my wheatgrass. I have it every day, but I used to put a time on having wheatgrass. I would say to myself, I have to have my wheatgrass in the morning. And then if I was rushing out of the door and I didn't have my wheatgrass, I wouldn't have my wheatgrass that day. And then I was like, what am I doing? I feel so amazing when I have wheatgrass. Why can't I have it in the afternoon? Like, what? Why am I putting this time restriction on when to eat healthy and when to eat something healthy?
So it
So,
doesn't matter if on an empty stomach or a non-empty stomach.
no, just go for it. When
Mm.
you're doing
I love
something
that.
healthy for yourself, go for it. Don't
I
put a
love
restriction
that.
on that. Yeah.
Nadia, I love that so much because there's been so many people on this show particularly that have talked about timed nutrition. That when you eat certain foods in this uh, in a 24-hour period, hopefully not 24 hours, you're not eating 24
Yeah.
hours a day, but let's say in a 12-hour period or a 10-hour period, it makes a difference when you're eating it. And that makes sense too. I know there's science behind that, of course.
I'm a big fan of intermittent fasting for sure.
Yes.
But I think it's just when it comes to a special food or something that you know is good for you and you say to yourself, this is only for morning, and then you miss it that morning, you're missing it. Your body's missing it. And
Okay,
there's
that's
no
so
point.
important.
Yeah.
So tell me about this is on my list here. Tell me about wheatgrass.
Yeah. Wheatgrass is amazing. Wheatgrass
What's it?
definitely changed my life in
What?
terms of, yeah, with brain fog, energy. Yeah, for sure. So, but I also learned a lot about wheatgrass. I will say
Okay.
when I was younger, I went to a store in the mall that was selling wheatgrass and I took a shot of it and I spit it out. I like my body just did not want it. This was before I got into health. I just saw like a little cup. I was always into like little things. So I thought forever I didn't like wheatgrass, but what I learned throughout the years is that wheatgrass is such a powerful um, food, and it has, I think it's 98 vitamins and minerals in it.
Mm,
It's amazing for cancer, amazing for anti-inflammatory, great for brain fog, energy, all these wonderful things. But it's the way that wheatgrass is grown that makes a big difference. So when wheatgrass
okay.
is grown on a tray, it's very susceptible to mold. Mold
Mm,
grows on trays, flower pots, everything very easily. The wheatgrass that we get at the store is wheatgrass that's grown outside on like land, and that makes a huge difference. So when I started taking proper wheatgrass, I noticed a huge difference in my life. My brain fog went away. I used to go to work and hide in the back of my store and just hope that nobody came in because I had serious brain fog. I would actually hope that nobody would come into my store. Isn't that so crazy? Because my head
yeah,
was
that's
just
crazy.
like, I couldn't think. I didn't have the energy for people and I didn't know why. But when you're working a lot and you neglect yourself, it doesn't matter. A lot of things don't matter. Stress, all these things, they'll all take advantage of your body. And you have to just keep your vitamins and minerals up, and that's what will help you.
So do you suggest wheatgrass in, I've seen it, it actually looks like it's flat, but
Yeah,
do you take it in a shot?
I take it in. So what I do with my wheatgrass, our wheatgrass comes frozen. So I'll take
Mm.
4 cubes and I'll put
Oh,
it in a cup, and I just put room temperature water in it,
and just stir it
and
up
then I let it melt. Yeah, and then I'll drink it.
and you
That's
take
it.
that while you're intermittent fasting?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Intermittent,
Okay. So that's very important. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say intermittent fasting is disrupted from like sugars, carbs, anything that's going to boost your metabolism. So that's
Right.
something that's not going to do that.
Or spike your blood sugar, like protein,
Exactly.
anything that
Yeah,
you're basically.
exactly.
So okay, what about aloe shots?
Oh my God, my lifesaver. So, like I was telling you, I was really sick when I was younger, and I found that aloe was my cure all. It's awful to take. I've been taking it since I was 20. I'm much older now. And I hate the taste, but I know how good it is for me. If I ever feel bloated, uncomfortable, what aloe does for you topically is what it does for you internally. It's just
Oh,
going to
wow.
heal your digestive system. It gets everything moving a little bit more. And I tell people it's like a magic eraser. You have one shot when you're feeling bloated and you feel amazing. Yeah, that is my go-to.
So you don't mix, I've noticed there's not aloe in your juices, it's just a shot.
Yeah, I
So
do
just,
have some aloe in juices, but very
oh,
little.
you
It's
do?
not as
Oh,
concentrated as the shot because like I would never mix aloe in anything. It's just gross no matter what you do to
I'm afraid I don't want to try now. Wheatgrass, I'll try that. You made that
it. Yeah.
sound kind of heavenly. The
You know,
getting rid
so
of the
many
brain
people
fog.
tell me
But
I over exaggerate about the aloe, but I'm telling you, like personally, I despise it, but I take it because I know
what does
how
it
much it helps me.
what
Yeah.
does it taste like? Like I'm envisioning it actually
It's
tastes like
very
when I
bitter.
smell aloe. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, it's very
Oh no,
bitter. Yeah,
I
and
don't
the
know.
texture is a little off, but like the amount of messages I get about my aloe and how much it's helped people alone is what makes me love it. But what it's
Okay, you're
done
not
for me,
selling
I've
it.
been
You're
on
not selling it. I'm
it.
scared. I'm actually
I've been
afraid
on
to take it.
yeah, I've been on it for so long, and I'm so happy that I've been able to share like everything I share. Really, it's because it's helped me, and I can personally say what it does for people.
Do you, when you make these suggestions, are these on the daily? Like this is
Oh
something aloe shot, wheatgrass every day? Are you saying
yeah.
that? Celery juice, like you're saying to
No,
people,
I'm so lucky
no?
because I get to be one on one with people, and not everybody
Mhm.
needs it, but you will see a difference no matter what. You'll see a difference with your skin, with your hair, with your nails, like everything when it comes to aloe. And but digestion is that number one thing. But I don't always recommend it. I mean, I really listen to people when they come into the store, and I
Mhm.
really do try to make give everybody suggestions that are good for them instead of for everyone. Yeah.
Tell me about the power of cinnamon.
Ooh, cinnamon's amazing. Cinnamon is great for your blood sugar. It's one of those things I used to, when I was younger and sick, and I had a lot, I gained a lot of weight. I was about almost 60 pounds heavier than what I am now. I
What?
used to, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it was really, it was crazy. But I used
I
to put
can't
cinnamon
see
in
it.
my water, and I would just drink cinnamon. I would put like a cinnamon stick in my water with lemon and drink cinnamon that way.
Mm.
Now I use it differently at the store. I do have a few drinks that have, I have one drink, one juice that has cinnamon in it, and then we have a hot drink that also has cinnamon in it. But it's amazing for your blood sugar. It keeps your blood sugar low, really helps your pancreas. So definitely something I'd suggest. And especially in this time of year, it's such a
Hmm.
warming spice.
So cinnamon, I'm addicted to cinnamon.
Good for you.
Like no, I don't know. It's since I've been a kid. It's like it's my favorite spice. So it's a cinnamon. I say I'm addicted to cinnamon. So a cinnamon bun, a cinnamon flavored anything. When I was a child, I wanted cinnamon,
Yeah.
and as I got older, I just the cinnamon cravings. When I was pregnant with both my children, all I wanted was cinnamon.
Wow.
Subsequently, one of my kids loves cinnamon. I mean, they both like it, but I
Yeah.
love cinnamon. And I can't have coffee without cinnamon.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's great for you. Any herb, spice, like that is my love language. I Herbs and spices have so many benefits that it's hard to get into all of them because the vitamins, minerals, nutrients, the reason why they have such a high flavor profile is because there's so many vitamins and minerals in them. But cinnamon for sure is definitely linked to metabolism, sugar cravings. Does it help your sugar cravings when you have it?
No, no.
Really? Oh my. Okay, well,
Well,
that's not
well, it maybe I don't know. I mean, it
maybe
hasn't
you're
lately.
having it with sugar and that's what makes it a little hard with those Cinnabons, but
No, I'm not having. No, I don't eat cinnamon. No, I don't have Cinnabons now. I'm saying when I was a teenager, I ate those a lot, and like you, I was probably 45 pounds heavier than I am
wow.
now. Yeah, for sure. A good 40 pounds heavier for sure. Um, but no, I just have organic cinnamon or is it called Ceylon cinnamon?
Yep.
Ceylon? I
Yep.
have either whatever I have in the house, and I just sprinkle some into my coffee, or I blend it into my coffee, and it feels like a
Yeah.
blended, almost feels like a cappuccino without any dairy because it's just
It's a
cinnamon. It's delicious.
it's
I
a
do that
very
all the time.
warming herb. In Chinese
Hmm.
medicine, like they have their warming, cooling herbs that they put into that they use to help your body heal. So yeah,
Mm,
it's a great
good.
spice.
I'm doing something good for myself with the cinnamon. That's great. It's my addiction, but I didn't I don't think it helps with sugar cravings. When a sugar craving comes on, I don't know if there's like for me, I don't know if
Yeah.
there's anything I could do, but maybe if I have a tea with some cinnamon, that might help,
Yeah, for sure.
perhaps.
Sugar cravings all mean something. Anytime your body is craving something, it means it. And it could come from even having a lack of carbs in your diet and being
Mm,
like more focused on proteins that sometimes we drop the carb or our mindset kind of from all the everything that people have said in the past about um, carbs and gaining weight and like I went through a period when I cut out my carbs. I'm not a sugar person at all. I love salt. But when I cut out carbs, I craved sugar like crazy. And then I
interesting.
learned, yeah, how much just cutting out like healthy carbs like rice, it
Hmm.
caused me to crave sugar.
Really, that's a very,
Yeah.
very interesting point. Is there a juice that you recommend for people to have that could help with sugar cravings?
Yeah. Any green juice is going to be good.
Green? Hmm.
Yeah, a green juice is going to be great. The sugar cravings are going to go away because of all the magnesium that you find in there.
Mm,
Yeah, so
okay.
very high magnesium. Normally, when we have chocolate cravings, it means that we're lacking magnesium. And there are different like sugar cravings that mean different things. And a lot of them could be going towards grains that we're lacking, grains, vitamin B, B6, those vitamins.
Okay. And so let's talk about juice versus supplements or both.
Yeah,
What do you
for
think?
sure.
What do you think?
So
What's your opinion?
I'm really big on taking, like, getting my vitamins from juices, from whole
Hmm.
foods in general.
Hmm.
Um, and when I do have a supplement, I do prefer supplements that are whole food supplements. So my multivitamin, multi-mineral, I want it to be from whole foods. So from either dried vegetables and fruits that have been made into a powder, or I think you take that the sea veg from Skinusa as well. That company, I
Hmm.
don't know if you've
Yes.
taken, but yeah,
Hmm.
that is a supplement that I love, and it's full of it's full of all seaweeds that are
Hmm.
so full of vitamins and minerals. And the reason why I take supplements like that are because I know my body knows what to do with it. It's a whole food. It's not something that somebody's manipulated, man-made into something. Like, I really truly stick to natural everything. So anything, multivitamins, multiminerals are my jam. I think they're so important, especially if you're drinking juices. You need these cofactor vitamins and minerals when you're having a juice, because then you get to absorb everything from it. So if I'm going about my day and I'm not taking my multivitamin, multimineral, I don't know if I'm absorbing everything, because certain
Mm.
cofactor vitamins and minerals are needed to absorb other vitamins and minerals.
So tell me about, or what do you think about apple cider vinegar?
Yeah, I think apple cider vinegar is amazing. I don't think it's for everybody. I think that we
Okay.
always have to find something that works for us, but apple cider vinegar has so many benefits to boosting the metabolism, helping our body break down carbs. It's amazing for our liver health. So I'm a big fan of it, but I know that it's not for everybody. Not
Hmm.
everybody's digestive system can break it down properly. And you'll notice, like, a lot of people will get those, like, they'll feel very acidic when they have it. I would probably say that their digestive system needs work if you're having a hard time with it, but it's also something that you don't have to take to get all those benefits.
I ask you about it because I had a registered dietitian on last year talking about menopause.
Yeah,
And one of the things that her research brought her to apple cider vinegar. She had interviewed a doctor who talked about apple cider vinegar while you're in perimenopause or menopause, to have before a big meal, whether your big meal is lunch or dinner. And it helps with maintaining weight and not gaining weight. And as you said, breaking down carbs.
yeah,
And I thought that was very interesting because I had heard about apple cider vinegar for digestion, for
mhm,
heartburn and reflux, and how it does really heal the esophagus and heals your gut. But she
yeah,
was talking about it from more of like a weight perspective
for
in
sure.
menopause. And I
Yeah,
thought that was just the most fascinating. I just thought that was fascinating. I
yeah,
hadn't heard that before. So I was really grilling her on it. So that's why I thought I wanted to speak to you about you being a holistic nutritionist. It seems
yeah,
very holistic to me to have
yeah.
apple cider vinegar, but to
For,
take that shot is
it's
kind of,
hard.
it's
It's
a
hard
little,
for
yeah.
sure.
I mean, in a salad dressing, that's great,
It's,
but
yeah,
to
very
chug it
true.
back is,
And I
yeah.
would avoid getting the apple cider in gummies. I would take it in its original
Mm.
form. You can
Not in a
dilute it.
pill.
Pill is okay. Pill is okay.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. But just as long as it's not like a sugary gummy, kind of takes away
Yeah,
from
no.
everything else that it's trying to do. So yeah, there's
Yes.
definitely tons of benefits towards apple cider vinegar.
So you were talking a bit about bone broth.
Yeah, I love bone
I
broth.
love bone. I do too. I
Bone,
just feel like I feel like I'm just having chicken soup. It's so
it's
good.
so healing. It's so healing. It's like healing to the soul too. Like, I just, when I drink it, it's just like
Mm.
just a breath of fresh air for me. I feel so calm. And that's what it does for you. It just calms the body. It helps relieve stress. And then there's so many other benefits to it, like all the for your joint health, digestive health. how our body is digesting it, how easy it is for our body to digest it, and then how it allows our body to just regenerate.
But not all bone broth is made the same. And I think people
That's
need to
it.
understand that, right? So if you're
Definitely.
going to the store, I've actually seen big companies. Again, I don't want to call it out, but I've seen companies that are, make canned soup
Yeah.
in a tin, also make bone broth in a box. And I thought,
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that's actually bone broth. Is that actually bone broth? I mean, it might be, but I don't know how good that is. There must be a lot of sodium in it if it's on a
Yeah.
shelf like that in a
There's a
box.
lot. There's a lot that goes into it. So we make bone broth. I have another company called Bonsip, and I actually started that with three other wonderful women who make all the broth themselves in Vaughan, and I sell it at the store. But our broth is so special. Like I said,
Oh,
I'm
it's good.
really into herbs, and I really focus on making a product for a certain reason. And that's what we've done with the broth. We have four different flavors. We focus, and there's a lot of herbs in there. Like I have a broth for immune system, and you'll find echinacea in our broth. You'll find
Mm.
all different a variety of mushrooms, turmeric, ginger, everything that we do. It's either in the store for the juices or for broth. I really like to focus on what I'm creating something for. And the same goes with my eating. What am I eating this for? Why did I put this food together for myself? Is it for digestion? Is it for my skin health? I want to always make sure that I'm eating for a reason. And
So
I'm
you
very
never,
conscious of that.
so I know you do, I mean, you have a lot of liquid during the day because you're drinking your juices. Obviously, you're drinking a lot of juice. But when you're actually eating food, where you're chewing food,
Yeah.
you're thinking about the nutrient value. Is that what you're
Oh, all the
saying?
time.
You're
All the
always, all the
time. I
time?
never want to be sick again. I'll tell you that. I never want to be sick again. And I'm so focused on food. And I really believe health comes from what we eat and what we drink.
It's
So
true.
yeah, definitely. I'm always thinking, how can I make this healthier for me? What can I do to make this healthier? Like
So when
is it
people,
in my dressings? Is it in yeah.
well, dressings will kill you. I've said this a million times to people. I love when people say to me, I live on salad. I
Yeah.
live on salad. I have chicken and salad every day for lunch. I have another protein and salad for dinner. So what's in your salad dressing? Well, I
Yeah.
don't know. I buy salad, I buy salad dressing wherever. I'm like, check it out. How much
Yeah.
fat, oil, sodium, sugar is in your
It's
salad
so
dressing,
true. It's so
right?
true. That's why making
Mhm.
food for yourself at home is the best way to do it. I have a meal prep company as well where everything is made from scratch. So we don't use
Mm.
anything from a box or a can. All of our dressings are made from scratch. You'll see blue dressings, pink dressings, all different types.
You have dressings at the store?
We don't sell them at the store. We
Mm.
sell it from our meal prep company. So I have a meal
Okay.
prep company called Eat Well Meals. I've created a whole little stream of ways to make yourself healthier, really.
So what happens when you want a piece of chocolate cake? You don't?
I really very rarely do, and I'll tell you the only time I find that I crave anything sweet is if I'm on like a strict physique diet and
Mm.
I'm cutting down my carbs. And if I do feel like chocolate, I'll have my magnesium. I know right away that means my body is lacking magnesium. And then
Mm.
another little thing that I do is I'll get coconut oil. I'll do like, let's just say a teaspoon of coconut oil, a teaspoon of honey, and 2 teaspoons of cacao powder. And I'll mix that up. If my craving isn't that bad, I'll put it in the freezer and I'll have it cold. And if my craving's bad, I'll just scoop it and have it that way. And it just cuts my craving. And it's
And it works.
amazing. And it works. You get your chocolate fix, you get your body's getting calories in it too, and everything's healthy, everything's natural.
Okay, I hope everyone's listening to this. That's like could be like a little secret favorite weapon. Don't
Yeah,
overdose on it. But we're talking, a tablespoon, not 10
yeah,
tablespoons, right?
yeah,
But that's
yeah,
and honey, of
exactly.
course, if it's a good
And if you,
organic
yeah, if
honey.
you get like one of those mold trays and you prepare yourself, you can just freeze them and then pop out a little cute mold of a healthy chocolate snack for
You
sure.
just take some coconut oil, like
Yeah,
liquid, not like
coconut,
the
just
wow.
coconut, honey, and cacao. That's all it is.
And honey, can you do maple syrup? Or no?
Yeah, for
You don't.
sure. For sure you
Oh, you
can.
could. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
definitely. Yeah,
I
either
love it. We
or.
have a new recipe. That could get us through the holidays. I'm
Yeah,
serious. And
exactly.
not, you talk a lot about pressing the restart button on your health, and that's exactly what
Mhm.
you did for yourself. You just
Yeah,
literally pressed restart. What I love about the vibe in your world is that it doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter who you are. You can restart that button anytime.
so true. So true.
Anytime.
And
And I
I learned
didn't
that.
realize that. I say that again?
I said I learned that at
Yes.
19 when you shouldn't be sick, but it was a serious lesson and I feel like anytime that you do press that button and you get to really feel what healthy feels like, it's really hard to go back. I mean, you can get swept through, but
I don't know, Nadia. A lot of people get swept back in. Maybe it's the way we live in this part of the
for
world.
sure, for
It could
sure,
be
it's
our stress. I know a lot of people get swept back in,
yeah,
but what I love about your vibe and what you keep saying over and over again is it's okay. Just press
yeah,
restart. That's
yeah,
what the button's there for. And you
yeah,
can keep doing that.
for
One of
sure,
the things I know you talk about is a cleanse,
yeah,
and it's just one day and it could
yeah.
change like months and months of health, like the outcome. Tell me about what is a cleanse.
Yeah, so we do juice cleanses, obviously, at the store. It's what we've been known for all these years. And you can do a cleanse any way that you want. We have teas that are also very helpful for cleansing. Our 1 day reset is more for people, I would say, that know that what they want their diet to be and they've just fallen off and they just do a 1 day reset and you feel good. Another reason why people will do that 1 day cleanse is if they're intermittent fasting. And a lot of people forget that intermittent fasting, it's not only eating within that time frame, but it's also fasting intermittently.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people who are on an intermittent fast diet, like I am, I'll do a cleanse once a week for
Mm.
that. Yeah, it just helps your body reset your digestive system, break everything down, your cells get to heal. There's so many benefits to it. But I would say like a real juice cleanse, you'll get the most benefit in 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days on juices. It's the best feeling. Last maybe 2 weeks ago, I just did a 7 day cleanse. And it's like hard for me to get off. I feel so good. Yeah.
Can you have bone broth in that time?
Oh yeah,
Or
for
no,
sure.
just juice? Oh,
No,
you
no,
can.
broth for sure. Yeah. I'll
So
actually have a lot of broth this time of year when I'm doing a cleanse.
I love broth. I love broth this time of year. When I'm making dinner, it's my go-to. Like I have a cup of it as opposed to grabbing coffee or
Yeah,
more tea with
for sure.
caffeine. Or food, right?
Yeah.
I'm drinking bone broth and I love it, and it's so yum, so yummy. Um, okay, so I'm going to tell you. Here's my secret to you. I try to cleanse. I got till about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. I thought I was going to die. I was so hungry. I'm like, I'm doing this wrong. I must be doing this wrong because everybody who has done this said, oh, it's the best. You feel so good. It
Yeah,
wasn't that I wasn't feeling good. I was feeling energized, but I was so hungry. And I'm wondering if I was hungry because I was focusing on food. I was
for
thinking
sure.
about when
So
do I get to eat?
yes,
Because I don't like not eating.
I know.
That's
I know. I
it's
totally
a psyche. Yeah.
yes, for sure. I know that if I haven't done a juice cleanse in a long time, that first like the first thing when I wake up, I have anxiety about it. I'm like, am I
Really?
going to feel good? Yeah, am I going to have enough? But the secret towards juice cleansing is to never allow yourself to get hungry. So if you,
Hmm.
I don't know if you remember, but with the juice cleanse, I know I don't give out a card that says have a juice every 2 hours. I don't like putting a time frame on anything. I want people to have their juice the second that they feel like they need it. So if I wake up and I have my first juice and I'm still hungry, I'll go straight to my second juice and I'll start drinking it. I want to make sure I wipe out any feeling of hunger. And then in between each juice, water is imperative. So making sure you're drinking water is so important on a juice cleanse, because juices are going to fill your cells up with all the nutrients that you need, and then they're going to release all the toxins in the bloodstream. So we need to get all of those out of the body. So drinking water is huge. If you find that you're more on the backed up side, I would suggest teas, just to get
Mm-hmm.
all those toxins out of the body. And yeah, make sure that you have juices with you no matter what you do. I tell people, if you're going just to the convenience store, bring more juice with you than you think you'll need,
It's
because
so
the second
interesting.
you
I
feel
didn't do it. I
hungry,
didn't.
yeah,
Yeah, I didn't do it right. And I
yeah.
knew I wasn't doing it right. I was like, I couldn't, I was like, wait, I gotta eat. I'm really hungry. This is ridiculous. I don't like feeling hungry.
Oh, I know. I don't think
Most,
anybody does.
well,
Is
I
that
think a lot of people can get through
through it?
certain, yeah, a lot of people can get through it because it's kind of eye on the prize. You're going to
Yeah.
feel so much better the next day.
Not me. No,
It's,
I want to make sure I feel satisfied. I really do. So that's why I
I
think
like
like
that.
I'll go through and I'll have two juices in a row just to make myself feel good for sure. And then you feel good, but like the second you feel a little bit of hunger, I'm telling you, you need to start drinking.
That's great advice. That is amazing advice. And I love this advice about a cleanse because I think as we come into this time of year, people are starting to feel, well, I know I can say, I don't want to regress. I don't want to go back
Yeah.
I don't want to turn around at the end of December and say, now I've got months of work ahead of me
Yeah.
to feel
Yeah.
well, because I
So
don't
true.
like that feeling. And I don't know if that's come with maturity and age, where I've just really put it instead of on the back burner, it's really front and center for me,
Yeah.
because I know what that feels like, going, oh my God, I have so much work to do. And it's so much work, like for
No.
me,
It's even,
exercising for me is my oxygen. Like I like to exercise. I like to move. It makes me feel good. So I don't even think about it. But when it comes to like sweets and having the treats during the holidays, yeah, I'm going to cave. But a lot of people like myself have said, I don't want to cave that much,
yeah.
right? I don't want to do that because I just don't feel well.
I
So,
think one of the best things to know is it's okay to cave for sure. It's
mhm,
okay to have your day of indulgence, but don't let that one day of indulgence turn into a month of being gluttonous. Like,
right.
have indulge that one day and then the next day put it away. Then it's
Yeah,
like, okay, I'm done with it and I'm going back to being that healthy version of myself.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great advice.
And I think that
Before,
it's really like we become very gluttonous around this time of year, and that's what we want to avoid. So it's
mhm.
just being very conscious, like, okay, I don't need to overeat. My body doesn't need this. And I think learning to listen to our body and understand what we need and what we don't need is so important to health.
Well, I've seen you face to face, and I can tell everybody watching and listening that you glow, like you are glowing, and your eyes are so bright and white, and your skin is always glowy and dewy. So whatever you're putting in, it's definitely working. I didn't know your story
Yeah,
from when you were 19, and I appreciate you sharing
yeah,
that with me, because everybody has a story. I knew that
good.
there was something behind your passion for
Yeah,
sure, and it obviously fuels you because whatever you're doing really well. And
thank
I
you.
appreciate you taking the time to talk to me about it, and everybody about what we can do going forward. Just those little
Yeah,
things, just
yeah,
adding little things maybe do it weekly. Set a goal for yourself every week and say, I'm going to try celery juice this week. Next week, I'm going to try an aloe shot. The next
Yeah.
week, I'm going to try wheatgrass. I don't know. What do you suggest? What's your final thoughts on people getting
I would
that
say
restart?
for anyone who is looking to restart and for it not to do anything with juices, I want to make it simple for people to do something at home, and it's really just to add healthy herbs to your diet. Add mint to a salad. Add um, arugula, cilantro, basil, all these things. Anything that has a very strong, pungent taste means that it has a lot of vitamins and minerals to it, and we need
Mm.
vitamins and minerals to be um, to have this vital life of like health and energy and everything else. So keep your herbs up. That's what I'd say.
Nadia, thank you so much. I urge everyone to check out Drink Juice Co. on Instagram. You're on Instagram, yes?
Yeah, yeah,
Of
that's right.
course. Where else can people find you?
They can find us on Instagram, our website,
Mhm.
and I'm not that big into social media, so I'm pretty sure all we have is the Instagram.
No, that's more than enough. You just need one channel, and that is where
Yeah,
people can find you. And I urge people to check out your website also. It's
thank
extremely
you.
informative. And if people have questions, I know if they reach out, you've always been so
I'm
helpful,
always,
and
yeah,
you're so helpful, and your staff also are so helpful. Just
I know,
it's one phone
very
call, one
lucky.
email. They're amazing.
Yeah,
Because I
thank
know
you
a lot
so
of
much.
people listening are not from the Greater Toronto area. They may be from
Yeah,
somewhere else and want to, again, restart their health and see what's that first step in taking that journey. But certainly, you've been so helpful. Thank you so, so
thank
much.
you so much for inviting me. I'm truly honored.
Thank you. And right back at you. I feel honored that you shared so much with us. Thanks, Nadia. Thanks, everyone, for listening. And I hope you have a healthy day.
Bye.